to go and find where Sita was. Remember, she was adopted by Ravan. And he went into Lanka and he located Mata Janaki. And he saw the extreme punishment that she was undergoing at the hands of Ravan. Ravan did all forms and fashions of threats to cause Mata Janaki to come to him. But she was a person of great character, solid in her belief. Her nobility could not have been challenged. And she never for one moment even looked at Ravan. But in the absence of Sri Ram, she was totally devastated. There is a relationship between ourselves and Sri Ram. Though Mata Janaki was the beloved of Sri Ram, she was also the devotee of Sri Ram. So we have to look at her relationship with Sri Ram at two levels. At the level of being the consort of Sri Ram, and at the level of being a devotee. And no devotee could be continuously happy in the absence of the Lord, or our Lord. That is why in this world of mundane existence we have a lot of difficulties, because we are all attached to the world. You see, when you become attached to the world, you become detached from God. And when you attach yourself to God, you become detached from the world. And in the world, the glitter and glamour of the world does not in any way make our lives better. There are those who have all the money in the world. They could buy anything, from aeroplane go back. They could eat the best of food. They could drink the best. They could wear the best. But you know something? When you look at the lives of these people, they are worse off than us, the ordinary man. So if wealth is the be-all and end-all, then they should be the happiest people on earth. On the contrary, that is not so. So Hanuman goes back to Sri Ram and he tells Sri Ram, my lord, Mata Janaki is undergoing extreme difficulties, and you should go and rescue her. And before Hanuman left, she took out that gem from her hair and she sent it to Sri Ram. But he gave a message. He said, tell him that I am devoted to your feet in thought, word and deed. You see, in the presence of Ravan, she was being challenged in so many ways. But her mind was fixed on the lotus feet of Prabhu Sri Ram. You remember last night Katha? When Brahma tells mother, go back and serve that person whom you have been serving all the time. But that's what Mata Janaki did. Her mind was never ever separated from the feet of her beloved Sri Ram. And that is what kept her going. Hanuman indicates all this to Prabhu Sri Ram. Tulsidas is saying, he says, my lord, when I was leaving, she gave me this jewel from her hair. And Sri Ram, he took it and embraced it, as though he was embracing Mata Janaki himself. That's it. Think of that closeness, that relationship between Sri Ram and Mata Janaki. In two planes, as his consort and as his devotee. That is how Sri Ram treasures a devotee. He says, my lord, Hanuman is saying, her eyes are all overflowing with tears. And he sent me this message. He says, when you go, clasp the feet of his brother, Lakshman. Because one of the reasons why she was adopted is because she made some ugly remarks to Lakshman. And here she is repenting that. And she says, when you go back, it says, tell him, I am devoted to your feet in thought, word, and deed. And extend that kindness to Lakshman also. So, I want to begin from this point. Tulsidas sings in Doha. Nimish and Nimish. Nimish means moment after moment. So Hanuman has returned to Sri Ram and he's describing a condition. He says, my Lord, he says, every single moment of hers, he says, oh fountain of mercy, he is referring to Sri Ram as fountain of mercy. He says, each moment passes like an eon, like an age. You know, when you are entrapped in a certain situation where you find, suppose somebody comes to your house, you know, as it taking place regularly now, you know, they vandalize the home and so on. Each moment they capture you there is like months going. You find 5 minutes is like 5 years. So he's saying, my Lord, each moment of a separation from you is like an eon. And Nimish is a moment. A small quantity of time. And he's saying, my Lord, Degi chaliya Prabhu aniya bhujabala kalagal jiti. He said, my Lord, set out at once. He's asking Sri Ram. Because so grave is the situation that she cannot wait. He says, set out at once, my Lord. And you'll be able to vanquish those villainous crew and bring back Mata Janki home. He says, set out at once and vanquish that crew. He didn't say, set out at once and see if you could kill emperors. He didn't say that. He had a firm conviction in his mind that my Lord Prabhu Sri Ram could do anything. There is nothing to stop him. And that is the confidence that we must have as devotees. We should never, at any moment, give up that stability of mind when we take in terms of devotion to the Lord. He said, my Lord, go, vanquish them and bring secret. He didn't say, go and see if you can vanquish them and bring back. He didn't say that. That is the confidence that he has in Sri Ram. And that is the confidence that we must have in our devotion to the Lord. Anytime we go to him with something in the mind that I'm not sure about this, I'm not sure it's going to work, I'm not sure he'll answer my prayer. If you're not sure, it's because your prayer is not worthy. But when you have given yourself over to the divine, in thought, word and deed, that's your bottom dollar, there is a true and positive response. That is the power of truth in devotion. So Tulsidas tells us in Chaupai, Jai Rama Shri Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Rama Jai Rama, Jaya Jaya प्रभु सुख आयना आये जल राजीव नयना जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम वचन सुनि सीता दुख प्रभु सुख आयना भरी आये जल राजीव नयना. Upon hearing the difficulties that Sita is undergoing, when it came to the hearing of Prabhu Shri Ram, Tulsidas says, Bhari aaye jal Rajiva Nayana. Rajiva Nayana means the lotus eye of Prabhu Shri Ram. The lotus eye of Prabhu Shri Ram began to stream with tears. And that is the relationship that Shri Ram has with his devotees. The moment his devotees, his three devotees, are in difficulties, that is what happens. So he extends that kind of feeling to his true devotees. He's saying here, Bachana kaya mama mana mama gati jahi sapane hu bhujya vipati. This is what Shri Ram said. And this is a promise of Shri Ram. He said, Hanuman, do you think that any person who served me in thought, word and deed, do you think that I can ever dream of forgetting such a person? Do you think that such persons would always experience adversities, difficulties, problems? So he makes special mention. And you have to, you see, we just don't read. We have to understand what is meant. Because some people misinterpret these things. He said, any person, no particular person, any person who serves me in thought, word and deed, in your thinking, I am always in your mind, or you are always in my mind. All my thoughts are upon you, my Lord. And if your thoughts are upon the Lord, would you do the wrong thing? In words, my words are always melodious. Whatever I say, or whatever is being said, is said in such a manner that everybody gravitates to you. Indeed, whatever actions you perform is in relation to goodness at all times. Anybody who lives these principles, he says, I serve them also. I relieve them of their adversities. That's the promise of Prabhu Shri Ram. Tulsidas sings in Chaupai. Lord Hanuman responds to this particular verse. This is what Hanuman says in response to what Sri Ram is saying. Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. कहा हनुमंत विपति प्रभु सोई जब तब सुमिरन बजहु न होई. This is what Sri Hanuman responds when he was told by Sri Ram, do you think a person who surrenders to me in thought, word and deed, do you think I will forsake such a person? Hanuman says, कहा हनुमंत विपति प्रभु सोई जब तब सुमिरन बजहु न होई. He says, my Lord, there is no misfortune, said Hanuman, other than ceasing to remember and adore you. Only when someone stop in rendering service and adoring a lotus feet, it is only then that person finds himself in joy. Did you beautifully reply Sri Hanuman gives? There isn't a moment when the thoughts of Prabhu Shri Ram is never in the mind of Hanuman. The thoughts of Hanuman, he lives, he eats, he drinks Shri Ram. Whatever he's about to do, Jai Shri Ram. And he says it with such conviction that there could ever be failure. There could never ever be failure. Hanuman has never yet failed. Never. And Sri Ram had the greatest confidence. You know, when everybody was about to go to search for Mata Janki, Sri Ram called Hanuman. He says, Hanuman, when you see Sita, it means that he knew that Hanuman would find Sita. He said, when you see her, give her my regards and tell her how much I miss her. He didn't tell him what to say. But that is the relationship that he had with Hanuman. That's how close he was with Hanuman. Mata Janki is near and dear to Sri Ram, his divine consort. He tells Hanuman, when you go, comfort her. He didn't tell him what to say. Comfort her. And Sri Ram has the greatest conviction in his mind that my devotee will say what is necessary to pacify the mind of Mata Janki. Such must be our conviction in our relationship with the divine. So he says, Ketika Bhadra Prabhu Jat Dhanaki, Ripuhi Jiti Anabi Janaki. He's saying, of what account are the demons to you, my Lord? Of what account? No matter what power they possess, you can override all that. Whatever power we have, That is by the grace of Prabhu Sri Ram. We think we have knowledge, and that is because of our doing. No, my friends. Whatever you possess in terms of knowledge, in terms of strength, in terms of wealth, all is by the grace of the God. And always be ever, forever, submit to His lotus feet for having what you have. And you know something? Only when you have, you can assist other people. So the fact that He gave you that condition to have and to own and to be possessed with knowledge, it gives you the opportunity to share that knowledge with the less fortunate. It gives you the opportunity to do good and to help the poor and needy. So it is a blessing for you to have that and to use that to cause other people to be blessed. And when you use it in that fashion, then that knowledge is worthy. If you share that knowledge and it enriches the life of other people, that knowledge that you have is now worthy. And how did Christ put it? He said, would you light a candle and put it under a bushel? Would you do that? The mere purpose of lighting a candle is to shed light, isn't that so? So where will you put it? On a candlestick so that it sheds light. But if you were to put it on a bushel, of what use? There's no point in lighting it. So if you have knowledge and you didn't share that, then you have wasted your effort. Teachers are great people. The teachers not only in the physical sense of having, the school teachers we know about. The great swamis, the great yogis, they're also great teachers. The saints and sages, they're great teachers. And in fact, they are greater than the teachers we know in our school today. The teachers of today in schools prepare us to negotiate the world in front of us. And yet still we are unable to do that successfully. But the saints and sages, when they prepare you with the knowledge that they share, you are qualified for life, to face life and all the challenges that there are. So as Mother Earth was experiencing all those things, when you have that kind of knowledge, you are able to negotiate that with the greatest success. So he says, of what account are the demons, my Lord? Sri Ram knows that he could conquer all the demons. But this was the play of life. This is the play. And we are all part and parcel of that play. And when we have that command and that desire to serve the Lord in this way, of what account are all the negativities? Of what account are these things when you have the Lord at your disposal? Put everything in His hands and you will be successful. He's saying, Ripujeti anabi janaki. You will vanquish the foe and you will be able to bring back Janak's daughter. Janak's daughter and Mother Janaki, Mother Sita. You see the conviction which he says it. He says, my Lord, what are you waiting for? It is all within your power so to do. So he tells us in Chopin. Sri Ram, of all his devotees, he has a special love for Sri Hanuman, because Sri Hanuman is a special servant of the divine. And Sri Hanuman takes a pride. When you ask him, who are you? He says, I am the servant of my beloved Sri Ram. Would you like to say that you are a servant? He takes a special delight in saying, my Lord, I am your servant. I am your das. So Tulsidas tells us in Prabhupada. He says, listen, Hanuman. Hanuman is giving advice to Sri Ram. He's telling him, he's trying to convince him that he should go there without delay. And Sri Ram recognizes that all he does is for my welfare and for the welfare of Mata Prakriti. In other words, he sees that here is a devotee who holds me in the highest distinction, and also his divine consort Mata Prakriti. And whatever he's telling me for the good, for the betterment of all. So he's saying here, Sunu, Ram is speaking out, Sunu kapito hi samana upakari nahi ko sur naramuni tanutari. He says, listen, Hanuman, Sunu kapi. Listen, Hanuman. He says, no God, Sur means God. He says, no God, Nar, no man, Muni, no sage. He says, none of them has ever put me under such, obligation as you have. He said, none of them has been such a benefactor to me as you have been. Who is a benefactor? Benefactor comes from two Latin words. Bene means well, and factor comes from the word facio means I do. So one who does well, one who has others' interests at heart, he is a benefactor. So he's saying here that none has been born, no God, no man, no sage has been born to put me under such an obligation as you have.